Hey, good morning, guys. Back in California for a little bit. A few meetings, Pop's funeral, all the great stuff. It's good to be back. Last week we finished with the tabernacle, the courtyard, kind of setting the stage for 2 million people going through the wilderness and the desert and how they're going to bring God with them. God's telling Moses as he's on the mountain how he wants everything exactly laid out. And so now we're going to get into what the priests wear. And so look, they're bringing church with them. They're bringing the Lord with them everywhere they go. So they make sure that, and God's leading them with the cloud. So they want to make sure that God's at the center of everything they do while they go through the wilderness. So Exodus 28. Oh, by the way, today is October 1st, 2024. Getting into the fall here. So here we go. So God's talking to Moses right now on the mountain still. Have Aaron, your brother, brought to you from among the Israelites, along with his son Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar, so they may serve me as priests. Make sacred garments for your brother Aaron to give him dignity and honor. Tell all the skilled workers to whom I have given wisdom in such matters that they are to make garments for Aaron, for his consecration, so he may serve me as the priest. These are the garments that they are to make: a breastpiece, an ephod, a robe, a woven tunic, and a turban and a sash. They are to make these sacred garments for your brother Aaron and his sons, so they may serve me as priests. Have them use gold and blue and purple and scarlet yarn and fine linen. So Aaron is Moses' brother, and essentially God is setting up Aaron's bloodline to be the priests of, they're going to run the temple and they're going to be the priest for the tabernacle, and but they're the priests of this entire movement going forward. It's all got to be from Aaron's bloodline. It talks about this, all of his descendants in Hebrews when we get to that. So the first one is the ephod. Look, this whole chapter is just kind of laying out what the priests are going to wear. Like I said, some of this is a grind, but God's just kind of showing Moses what it's going to be like. Make the ephod of gold and of blue, purple, and of scarlet yarn and of finely twisted linen, the work of skilled hands. It is to have 2 shoulder pieces attached to 2 of its corners, so it can be fastened. Its skillfully woven waistband is to be like it, of one piece with the ephod, and made with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and with finely twisted linen. Take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel in the one order of their birth. 6 names on one stone and the remaining 6 on the other. Engrave the names of the sons of Israel on the 2 stones the way a gem cutter engraves a seal. Then mount the stones in gold filigree settings and fasten them to the shoulder pieces of the ephod as memorial stones for the sons of Israel. Aaron is to bear the names on his shoulders as memorial before the Lord. Make gold filigree settings and 2 braided chains of pure gold like a rope, and attach the chains to the settings. I'll send you guys a picture here in a little bit I found. So the breast piece, fashion a breast piece for making decisions, the work of skilled hands. Make it like the ephod of gold and of blue, purple, and of scarlet yarn and of finely twisted linen. It is to be square, a span long and a span wide, and folded double. Then mount the 4 rows of precious stones on it. The first row shall be carnelian, chrysolite, and beryl. The second row shall be turquoise, lapis lazuli, and emerald. The third row shall be jacinth, agate, and amethyst. I'm not a stone person, but hey, working on it. The 4th row shall be topaz, onyx, and jasper. Mount them in gold filigree settings. There are to be 12 stones, 1 for each of the names of the sons of Israel, each engraved like the seal with the name of one of the 12 tribes. For the breastpiece, make braided chains of pure gold like a rope. Make 2 gold rings for it and fasten them to 2 corners of the breastpiece. Fasten 2 gold chains to the rings at the corners of the breastpiece, and the other ends of the chains to the 2 settings, attaching to them the shoulder pieces of the ephod at the front. Make 2 gold rings and attach them to the other 2 corners of the breastpiece on the inside edge next to the ephod. Make 2 more gold rings and attach them to the bottom of the shoulder pieces on the front of the ephod, close to the seam just above the waistband of the ephod. The rings of the breastpiece are to be tied to the rings of the ephod with blue cord connecting it to the waistband, so that the breastpiece will not swing out from the ephod. Whenever Aaron enters the holy place, he will bear the names of the sons of Israel over his heart on the breastpiece of decision. Breastpiece of decision. So they're calling that like the breastpiece of decision. That's like the decision making. As a continuing memorial before the Lord. Also, put the Urim and the Thummim in the breastpiece, so they may be over Aaron's heart wherever he enters the presence of the Lord. Thus, Aaron will always bear the means of making decisions for the Israelites over his heart before the Lord. Side note here, so the Urim and the Thummim, it means most dazzling light. They were means by which the high priest might find answers from the Lord, and we'll see some more of that in the next few books. But when a divine answer was needed, the priest would turn towards the most holy place and ask Yahweh for direction. When the Lord spoke, the priest would give the inquirer, like a ruler or general, whatever the big decision was, the answer in an oracle, a brilliant flash of dazzling light. The actual meaning of the words Urim and Thummim from the stones of the breastpiece would validate the most. So they had the breastpiece on, they would turn to the most holy place, and if they lit up, like these diamonds would sparkle and whatnot, then that was the answer. Make the robe of the ephod entirely of blue cloth with an opening for the head in its center. There shall be a woven edge like a collar around the opening, so that it will not tear. Make pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn around the hem of the robe, and gold bells between them. The gold bells and the pomegranates are to alternate around the hem of the robe. Aaron must wear it when he ministers. The sound of the bells will be heard when he enters the holy place before the Lord and when he comes out, so that he will not die. Make a plate of pure gold and engrave it on its seal, holy to the Lord. Fasten a blue cord to it to attach to it the turban. It is to be on the front of the turban, and it will be on Aaron's forehead, and he will bear the guilt involved in the sacred gifts of the Israelites to consecrate. Whatever their gifts may be, it will be on Aaron's forehead continually, so that they will be acceptable to the Lord. Weave the tunic of fine linen and make the turban of fine linen. The sash is to be the work of an embroiderer. Make tunic sashes and caps for Aaron's sons to give them dignity and honor. After you put these clothes on your brother Aaron and his sons, anoint and ordain them. Consecrate them so that they may serve me as priests. Make linen undergarments as a covering for the body, reaching from the waist to the thigh. Aaron and his sons must wear them wherever they enter the tent of meeting or approach the altar to minister in the holy place, so that they will not incur guilt and die. This is to be a lasting ordinance for Aaron and his descendants. So the hem of Aaron's robe was like, it had the gold bells on it, and the sound indicated to those outside that the most holy place, it was like church bells. It was like he was like moving church bells. They really wanted to set all of this aside. And so I want to kind of keep in mind all the time that, okay, so he's going to wear like a guilt on his head. Think of all of these laws and things that represent, which really helped them get 40 years out in the middle of nowhere. They get to essentially take church and the Lord with them, and they're being led by the Lord everywhere. So this is God's mission, and they're reminded of it every single day. And this is how God wanted his moving church set up. But these are all the things that when we jump into the New Testament, that Jesus died for. So they didn't have to do this anymore. They didn't have to sacrifice anything or carry their guilt. Jesus literally died for all of that. He was the end, the last sacrifice, and he essentially carried everyone's shame and everyone's guilt for them, as long as we're willing to admit our shame, guilt, and give it to Jesus and give it to God. So as we kind of set up all these laws and rules, which really help the Jewish people get to where they were going, get to Israel, this is, I always want to keep in mind that as crazy as some of this sounds, Jesus showed up to end that so you can have just an awesome normal life and you don't have to carry and do all these things in your daily life. So anyway, I'm going to hang it up there, chapter 28. We're going to consecrate the priest, and pretty soon we're going to come off the mountain, get into the golden calf, and story's going to be good again. But anyway, love you guys. I'll send you a picture of kind of what this looks like, and hopefully I can get another one in this week. See you soon.